The first way to manage cash flow: track it like your life depends on it, because it does. Most people are losing money not because they're reckless, but because they're unconscious. They think cash flow is about how much they earn. No, it's about how clearly you see. If you don't know where your money's going, you're not in control. You're bleeding and calling it business. You're guessing and calling it growth. Tracking isn't restrictive. It's revelatory. Every dollar has a job. Every expense tells a story. And when you track your flow, you start to lead your finances instead of reacting to them. You see where you're strong. You see where you're leaking. You see where you're lying to yourself. And with that, awareness clarity rises. And where clarity rises, so does power. A tracked dollar is a directed dollar. And directed dollars build wealth. Then let's move deeper, because the second way to manage cash flow is to separate emotion from execution. Money moves to where the emotions are most unstable. Impulse, insecurity, status hunger, fear. But cash flow doesn't respond to emotion, it responds to structure. You want mastery over your cash flow? You must build a system that doesn't rely on how you feel. Because feelings are fragile. One bad day, and you convince yourself to spend what was meant to be scaled. One moment of envy, and you trade assets for image.
All right, we're going to do a Q&A, so I'm going to give you this mic, Robert. This is the hot mic. I'll switch your mics here. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. This is the most interesting place I've ever been to. Go ahead.
Most interesting place he's ever been to. Craig, his mic up nice and hot. Most interesting, seriously, ever?
It's you. I mean, it's fantastic.
Josh Pearl, you're all the way from Canada, don't you know? And so tell us, how'd you hear about us, or how long have we known you?
I heard about you on Google, so I found you on Google.
Yep.
And I came down here in 2018.
So we've had the honor of working with you. I think this is our 7th year working with you.
7th year, yeah.
And how much have you grown since we first met?
We're just shy of 4x.
4x. So he's an accounting firm. It's a CPA. And you now have offices, I believe, in Dubai. Is that right?
Yeah, we got Edmonton, Vancouver, Manila, and Dubai.
Okay. So this is Josh, and we're going to bring him up here to provide some context into our next topic. But I want everybody to pull up his website there, Sean. Let's pull it up. It's spurrell.ca. Is that right? SPURRELL.ca.
You got it.
Okay. So we're talking about box number 3, which is page number 2. Okay. So box number 3, page number 2. We're going to go page number 2. Page number 2. And we're going to talk about here, page number 2. Everybody open up to page number 2. Page number 2. Feeling the flow. Working it. Page number 2. Page number 2. Page number 2. Take notes somewhere on page number 2. Or if you prefer to take note on page number 6, I won't argue with you. I like page number 6 more than page number 2. Why don't we go to page number 6? You can stay on page 2 if you want to emotionally. You can straddle. You can say, I kind of want to be on 2. 2 is my favorite number. I like it there. 6 is where I want to go, though. Some of you say 6, it reminds me of the Satan number. I don't really like that number. Okay, page 6. Okay. So in order to have success, you got to have trade-offs or trade-ups. Who knows about this? Yep. All right. So Spurl, to be organized, you have to make a to-do list. Why do you have to make a to-do list to be organized as you grow your big organization, Spurl, your Spurl Associates?
Well, you're just going to have more things to do than you're going to be able to remember. You're not going to be able to double back to them.
Okay, so everybody should have a stack of stuff here. Your stack of stuff. Okay, everybody has a stack of stuff. Everybody pull out your to-do list, please. This is my actual to-do list of the things that I actually have to do today. This is my to-do list. Everybody have a to-do list? Got it? Now, I want you to know this. Every single day, somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to hear this. You write it down on page 6 or page 0. Somebody needs to hear this. Every single day, you need to have a to-do list or you will be poor and pissed. Let me try again. Every single day, you need to have a to-do list or you will be poor and pissed. And it can't be an app. This guy hates technology. No, because your phone is a distraction device. It is not a tool. It turns you into a tool. Okay? So you need to print out your to-do list every day or you will be poor and pissed. So it says, I don't like that. Fine. We'll do a different phrase. you'll be poor and disheveled looking. But let's go over my to-do list today. Okay, so I got to call a lieutenant governor who will be here, I think, today, to say, hey, we're going to be here. We would like you to be here too. You know, I feel kind of Trumpy here. Okay, Craig Hagan, the pastor of Rhema, I wanted to call him, make sure he was going to be here, make sure he's taken care of. Paul Doherty, you want to make sure he's in. You know, these are just people they're friends of mine. I want to make sure that they got where they, you know, so they can all park in the easement, get their car sunk into the mud, get stuck. These are my friends. I want to make sure they all get stuck together. I want them to know we got 2 bathrooms for 500 people. It's great. Okay, so next. I want to confirm the helicopter. Anybody here want to do the helicopter ride tomorrow? Anybody? Sperl, there's a lot of details on this list here. Why? Because you work with clients. You help them with their accounting. Why is it that entrepreneurs refuse to print off a daily freaking to-do list? What is that?
I don't know, Clay. I really don't know why they don't want to print out a to-do list. So I think they started a business because they don't want to follow rules, and they think by not doing the to-do list, they're not following the rules, but they're not making any money. So,
Aaron, why is it that it's 100% correlation? Our most successful clients have a to-do list and a calendar. Yeah. And the people that are perpetual failures don't have a to-do list and a calendar, and they want to be a pioneer who's the first entrepreneur to ever be successful without a to-do list. Aaron, what is that?
Well, I mean, you touched on it when we were looking at the pyramid scheme. You know, number 7, focus. Number 7 is focus, right? It's like people need to have a vision of what the day looks like. And when you have 2 visions, it's a die vision, right? And you fail because of that. Most people fail for broken focus. If I know what the next thing is I need to get done, it's all about getting things done. You know, a lot of people get vision, but they never get execution, and vision without execution is hallucination. So they get into this place where they're like really focused on doing something, and they're running after something somewhere, but it's not really the tasks that need to get done to move the ball forward for their business.
Just circle. No corner. No corner. Just circle.
Grasshopper.
I think it's the fog that makes you sound deeper.
Oh,
okay. Next one. Okay. So accountability. Accountability. To hold people accountable, you have to irritate people. Come on. Who knows what I'm talking about? Entrepreneurs like, I don't want to irritate anybody. Well, you're going to be poor. I'm serious. It's just how it goes, right? I mean, you got to hold people accountable. How many of you have employees? You got to say, this just in. It's 7 o'clock and you're not here. What's going on? I mean, hey, why aren't you wearing your uniform? Hey, quit hitting on your boss. We had an employee 4 months ago. I had to say, quit having sex with people you're not married to who work with you. Stop it. Oh, I didn't know that was in the handbook because that's something, a new policy. It's a weird deal. I just was, crazy. Sperl, what is going on? Why is it that people don't want to irritate? When you sit down with a client, you're talking about their accounting, and their numbers are drifting, and you're going, you're going to have to cut something. Why is it that people just don't want to cause irritation, do a budget cut, or do some? Why don't people want to irritate people? What is that?
I don't know. It's the difficult decisions. It's our clients who, most need to look at their numbers. They're most likely to miss their accounting meeting. And then the ones who, are doing well, they're going to call me from the middle of the ocean from a boat to make sure that they go through their numbers. So
next one, reading. To find time for reading, because none of us are spending time doing nothing, we're going to have to probably get rid of some sleep or stop watching Netflix. Or now I'll give you some areas. Sean, look it up here. The average American is now watching 11.3 hours per day of media on their phone. This just in from Nielsen. I'm not making this up. Hard stat. Nielsen says the average American is now consuming 11.3 hours per day of media on their phone. How are you going to get anything done if you're spending 11.3 hours a day watching videos about? It's just so sad. Did you see Bieber? There's this clip where he's talking about he's so lonely, and it's just so sad. I mean, how are you getting anything done if you're watching a video of like, if you really knew this about Pam Bondi, it would change everything? How are you going to? Who knows what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You got to stop it. Some of you are on TikTok just watching these 30-second videos. You know what I'm talking about? Netflix. I might as well watch another. It auto-queued. I might as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on House of Cards, baby. I can't stop it. Star Wars marathon. I mean, you got to say no to things to find time to read, okay? Sales. To do sales, you got to deal with rejection. Sperl, why do you have to deal with rejection to do sales?
Well, not everyone's going to say yes.
Oh, come on.
So, most entrepreneurs, they think that they just need to lower their price. But if they get a couple of rejections, they can work for the price that they want to work for.
I call this the business duck Eventually, when you come back here, there'll be a lot of ducks in the office. I'm working on it. It's just it's kind of a iterations. Every time you come back, there's something else. But the business duck, above the water, a duck looks calm, but below it's paddling. These are the trade-offs to be successful. We on the same page? Okay. So below the water, you might not see. This is what it looks like. Okay. Time freedom. To have time freedom, you have to say no. You got to say no to grow. You got to say no to grow. What do you got to say no to? Next area, mentoring. How many of you have ever mentored somebody who grew up to become the Darth Vader that tried to kill your business? You're mentoring them and they're going, is that natural breathing there, Carl? Are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Are you pointing that lightsaber at me? Have you seen this? You're mentoring someone and they end up becoming your number one competitor. Have you seen this?
We've both experienced this.
So when you mentor somebody, just know you will be screwed. That's part of the deal. Okay,
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Okay, Matthew 5:10 says, "Blessed are ye who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for ye shall inherit the kingdom of heaven." This just in, turns out Jesus was the Son of God, great guy, and people killed him for it, right? So if you do the right thing, you will. No good deed goes unpunished. So I encourage everybody out there, if you're mentoring your employees, just know eventually you're going to raise up some solid competitors who do things exactly the way you want them to.
And at least one Judas Iscariot.
Right.
Okay.
Next, saving requires delayed gratification. Let's talk about it. Why does saving require delayed gratification, Dr. Spurl? Non-doctor, but could be a doctor, Spurl.
Well, I mean, the liquidity that a business owner has is going to be directly proportional to the risks that they can take. So you get one business owner and they don't have any savings. They don't have any liquidity. When they get a big opportunity, when it comes to them, buying some ads or when it comes to them buying the equipment they need for their business, they're kind of making that decision from a fear point. And so when they have savings, they're going to make better decisions.
We're on the same page. We feeling the flow? Feeling the flow. Working it. Pay the quarter. Ride the bull. A lot of fog. Feels kind of deep. Here we go. No. Okay, moving on. Time management. You got to have a calendar. Time management. You got to have a calendar. Time management. You have to have a calendar. Again, I'm just telling you, I'm trying to help somebody on page 0. This is my calendar for the week. This is my calendar. Let's look at my calendar. Judge me and say, you are a failed husband. You are a horrible father. People hate you because of your unbalanced life schedule. If I were you, I would do it better. I see people, again, spiritual people. This is what spiritual people tell me. They go, I don't want God to be boxed in. Trust me, you're not going to do that. Non-spiritual people from the East Coast, I have a lot of East Coast clients. They're all there. Look, buddy, you have no idea what it's like being in New York, okay? In New York, I got to freaking honk just to go to the bathroom, okay? It's a lot of pressure. People in California, bro, I just want to flow, like my schedule. Just to me, I don't even wear shoes, ever. I have never used shampoo. It's crazy. I just use toothpaste and that's it. The whole thing. Bro, all right, but you got to have a calendar. Why do you have to block out time? Let's look at my calendar here, okay? So Sean, pull it up on the screen here. I meet with Complete Carpet next Monday at 6 a.m. Why do I have it in my schedule, Spurl, where I'm going to meet this guy at 6? Why do you have it in your calendar when you're going to meet with your clients? You've grown a big practice. Why do you schedule a specific time?
I mean, scheduling the time really is the time freedom, because then you know when you actually have to work and when you actually don't have to work, and that makes sure that you actually have time to get everything done. Regardless of what business you have, there's only kind of a few key functions that are in there. It's like you got to do marketing, you got to do sales, you got to do production, you got to do administration, and you got to do AR, you got to do HR. And if you have all of those things scheduled, you're going to run your business effectively.
Now, again, being present is a present. Think about it. So a lot of people are in the meeting physically, but they're not mentally there. Because being present is a present.
Come on now. Oh, yeah.
No, feeling the flow. I really got you. Wow, I'm worried about you. Okay.
Hey, I've seen it too many times.
So it's just really important, though, that we got to make sure that we're being present as a present. Make sure you want to block out time for what matters. So let's look at my calendar for Monday here. I meet my coaches or our consultants at 7 a.m. 8 a.m. I have our elephant in the room. That's our haircut chain meeting. 9 a.m. I meet with all the team members. 10 o'clock I meet with Kenny, Highwayman Signs. And you see the schedule. Okay, I meet with Dave and his incredible wife there at 11 o'clock Central, which is 12 o'clock your time. And again, it's just so important that you block out time for what matters, because what gets scheduled gets done, right? We're on the same page? So I'm asking you to think right now about your life and kind of where you're stuck. I'm going to bring up somebody who's going to play the guitar with a lot of fog. It's going to feel good to think about what's going on. And as you're thinking about it, just to go back to page 0, okay? And I want you to write out your schedule. Page 0 is the inside cover. Write out your schedule, your ideal schedule for next Monday, okay? Or the Monday when you get back, okay? So your ideal schedule. So what time will you wake up? and then what will you do during those first couple hours? And let's go ahead and make the ideal schedule. And then I'm going to bring up Brett Rayo for a second, Brett Rayo, and then we're going to bring back up Spro. This is Brett Rayo. Brett is a musician. I like him a lot. I first met Brett because he wrote this song called "The Great Awakening," and he performed it, and it blew my mind. And so Brett and I, we do some songs together from time to time as well. And he is going to perform. How many of you ever heard the song called "Fast Car" by Tracy Chapman? You heard that song, "Fast Car"? And he's going to perform. He's got some original music he'll be playing over the weekend as well. But this particular song, "Fast Car," is about kind of like where you're stuck and you got to get out of that particular rut that you're in. That's what the song's about, is you're kind of stuck and you got to get unstuck. And so there's somebody here that you're getting like sick and tired of being inspired, but have no idea where to go. You're just frustrated. You're just kind of stuck. And so I'm hoping that this conference will help you be a catalyst to get you unstuck here. But I'm trying to also introduce you to real entrepreneurs that got unstuck because they started changing what they were doing. Because if you're doing the same thing that does not work perpetually, it's probably unlikely you're going to get ahead. And where's Ed? Ed, do you like Bieber? Do you like Tracy Chapman, Ed? Ed was the first guy. Ed, you got here like 4 a.m. or 3:45. What time did you get here, Ed? 4. Ed's the first guy at 4. Ed was here at 4. Ed and I connected at 4. Do you like Tracy Chapman, Ed? Okay, he said yes. Do you really like Tracy Chapman, or are you just being nice? Being nice. Okay. All right. Well, this song, real quick, we want to dedicate this song to Ed, our 4 a.m. bearded guest here. The song goes out to Ed. Anybody out there who's also special? Thank you, Ed. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Praise Jesus. Here we go. You got a fast car. I got a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we can make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here. Been working at the convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs and finally see what it means to be living. My old man's got a problem. He lives by the bottle, that's the way it is. Says his body's too old for working. His body's too young to look like this. My mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said, somebody's got to take care of him. So I left school, that's what I did. So I remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, forgot where we were, and city lights lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had a feeling that I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. We go cruising and entertain ourselves, yeah. You still ain't got a job, and I work at the market as a checkout boy. I know things will get better. You'll find work and I'll get promoted, and we'll move out of this shelter, buy a big house and live here in the suburbs. So I remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, forgot where we were, and city lights lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had a feeling that I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. I got a job that pays all our bills. You've been out drinking late at the bar. See more of your friends than you do your kids. I always hope for better. Thought maybe together you and I'd find it. I ain't got no plans, I ain't going nowhere. So take your fast car and keep on driving. So I remember we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, forgot where we were. And city lights lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had a feeling that I could be someone. You got a fast car. Well, is it fast enough so you can fly away? You gotta make a decision. You can leave tonight or live and die this way.
Let's hear for Brett Rayo. Thanks, Brett. We'll bring him back up. Thanks, dude. All right. So going back to this calendar thing, I promise I have a point here. The purpose of a business exists to serve you. I think we talked about this on page 0, but a business is a vehicle to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Does that make sense? So if it's okay, I'll be like super vulnerable with you, like it's like a therapy session with your 500 closest friends. I really don't have any interest in business, me personally. I don't care about it. I like music. I like music a lot. That's kind of my area. I like music. I like comedy and music. That's really my only areas that I like. Music, comedy, music. But it's like business is just a vehicle to do what I want to do. Does that make sense? So like with my clients, I really care about you, but I don't really care about your business. I care about you getting to where you want to go. Does that make sense? So Sperl, you do the same thing from an accounting perspective. You sell the customer and they're a great person and their financial situation is jacked and it really impacts their countenance, the way they think, the way they act. Why are you passionate about helping your clients learn these systems as a CPA?
I mean, you know, when clients come to us, we tell them, you know, what we're trying to do is help you beat the odds of business. You know, only 4% of businesses are really going to succeed. And if we don't follow the systems, we're just playing a casino game where basically the game is rigged against us. So these are the systems. This is the path to actually, you know, change the odds in your favor, basically.
So we're going to talk about the number of hours we're willing to work per week. And again, this is on page 6. Take note here. It's really important to think about how many hours a week you're willing to work. Okay. And you want to write that down somewhere on page 6. Now I'm going to give people some controversial ideas. Okay. So in the Bible, there's this great book called Genesis. Who knows about it? The first book. There's a great book called Exodus. Who knows about that one? Okay. In those 2 books, God tells us we should work 6 days and rest on the 7th. That's the pattern. And those 2 books, those are controversial. That's called the Bible. Some people don't like it. Okay. Then this guy named FDR, who was a socialist, and his lesbian wife in 1938 came out with the 40-hour work week.
It's true.
So in 1938, a socialist by the name of FDR and his lesbian wife, think about it, they came up with this idea called the 40-hour work week in 1938, which is after the Bible was written. Are we aware of this? So if you open your Bible and read it to find the 40-hour work week, it's not there. Okay, but it's all the concept of working 6 days a week and resting on the 7th. That's a biblical pattern. Make sense? So to create like the Creator, you have to work 6 days. You should write that down. To create like the Creator, you have to work 6 days. Now, if you want to work 40 hours a week, you're just going to have 40 hours a week, which is week. You know? Anyway, it's interesting. So if you want to work 40 hours a week, it's week. But if you want to create like the Creator, you have to work 6 days. A lot of information there. Think about it, okay? So now Aaron Antis, I remember when I first started working with you, you were working 7 days a week.
Yes.
And then you grew Shaw Homes to the point where you could work a lot less and then actually help scale a bunch of home builders.
Yes.
So I'm not saying you have to be a slave to your business. I'm just saying sometimes the vehicle to get you from where you are to where you want to be is hard work. And so we got to figure out how we're going to do that. But we also want to be happily married. We want to be great moms, great dads. We want to be engaged husbands and wives. So there's that balancing act. Okay. So it's very important that we block out time. Back to you.
Can I throw one thing in here, Clay?
Throw it in there.
I don't know if you guys noticed the ice sculpture over here that has F7 on it. Okay. You know, you look at that sculpture. We're talking about the F7 goals in your life. That's your life, right? It's a nice sculpture. What do you think is going to happen if we let some more time pass? Right? Eventually it's going to fall over. It's going to collapse. It's going to be done. Right? So every one of you is like that ice sculpture. Right? I remember a few years ago, I was turning 49 years old, and I remembered my dad died when he was 59. I was 10 years to the day from when my dad passed away. And I thought, I don't know how many more of these years I have left. Right? And each one of you are kind of in that place too. So you got to think about, what am I doing that matters, right? For me, It's kingdom business, right? I want to accomplish the plan that he has for my life before that time has passed. And so I got to be willing to have a calendar, to have a schedule, to schedule the things that matter and do it intentionally. When you're designing that calendar, what you're doing is you're designing a life that you love to wake up to every day that not just serves you, but serves the King. And if you can do that, you'll have great fulfillment in your life. So pay attention to that F7 when you walk by it and realize you're like that too.
Hi, my name is Josh Spurl from Spurl & Associates, Chartered Professional Accountants based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I met Clay at his conference in Tulsa in June of 2018. Started working with the coaching program shortly after there. You know, the experience has been great. You know, you really have a partner in the grind. You know, most people, I like to say most people are wrong about most things about business most of the time. And it's very difficult for entrepreneurs to connect with other entrepreneurs who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to business. But Clay and his team really does understand. You know, the tangible improvements that we've seen is we're up over 50% since starting with the coaching program. And, they're helping to help business owners create time freedom and financial freedom. And I know what you're going to think. You're going to say, what the heck are you going to do with your time freedom and financial freedom when you're in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada? That's the most northerly city in North America with 1 million people. You know, we're probably just sitting in our igloos hoping for some television. But I'll give you an idea of what we're doing in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So over here we have Sandra and we have Emma. Emma, say hello.
Hi, everybody. This is my daddy's channel.
Emma really likes any video. So let's see what actually the time freedom and financial freedom can do for you in Edmonton. So believe it or not, we have a beach here, guys. And I'll take you on the little tour of Edmonton's beach. Now it's not what you Americans are going to think of as a beach. This is a northern beach. Got a really cool slide here. I don't know if you can see this purple slide. This purple slide that you're looking at here is a full loop-to-loop. It knocks you completely upside down when you go into it. Let's see if I can get the right angle here. You know, that does not appear physically possible, but it really is going to knock you upside down. Went on it last time, and here is the Edmonton beach. This is a northern beach. You guys out in Tulsa, you Americans think you have all the beaches here, but here is the northern beach, complete with waves. We got 30-degree weather inside here. Oh, sorry, 30. That's 90 for you guys over there. I gotta do the translation, the map in my head. And we even got a zip line that we can ride down here. And this is what we're doing with our time freedom and financial freedom in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thanks to the Thrivetime team. Thanks very much, guys.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learn from you, so congratulations.
Sean, guess what's happening June 5th and 6th right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem?
We are probably going to have an amazing business conference here at Tulsa, Jerusalem.
Yes, we're joined by Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is going to be joining us right here at the Thrivetime Show World Headquarters, June 5th and 6th. He's a very successful football player, obviously a Heisman Award winner, but he's also a very successful entrepreneur. Now, when you work with real clients, Sean, clients you really work with to help them grow their companies, do you ever hear a business owner tell you that they didn't have time to get something done?
Every day.
How often is not having enough time a problem for business owners?
All the time. It's like maybe 90% of the issues as people are trying to grow their company.
Well, Tim Tebow is going to come join us here at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, and he's going to teach us time management and his approach to personal self-discipline and getting things done. Also at the workshop, I'll put up on the website so people can see it here. Also at the 2-day interactive workshop, Sean, we are going to be, there it is. We're going to be teaching accounting, systems creation, marketing, human resources, how to hire, inspire, train, and retain great people, accounting, social media advertising, search engine optimization. Sean, what's the area where most clients ask you for help the most? Is it generating leads? Is it hiring people? What's the biggest issue that most business owners have by default before they come to one of our workshops?
Well, I think it's management, because time is the most valuable resource for these business owners, and being able to manage their time is the first thing. Once they get that under control, then generally the numbers, being able to track their business and be able to make the best decisions based on numbers rather than emotions is a big area. And we teach all of this stuff at the business conference, particularly you, Clay. You love to hammer on time management. It's my favorite part of the conference.
Now, I'm going to pull this up real quick here because we're going to go through. If you're not excited, I want to get you excited about what we're going to cover at the workshop here. Okay.
All right.
The 2-day interactive workshop. This is my 20th year hosting workshops. So I'm telling you, folks, we're in rare form here. So one is the idea of establishing your revenue goals. I think most entrepreneurs don't know their revenue goals. Would you agree, or am I off my rocker?
No, that's totally a very important point we do with every one of our new clients that come on board, is we have to establish the revenue goals. And generally speaking, we have a vague idea, but not an exact idea that can be engineered down into like the daily goals for sales. And so that's a really big one.
Now, next is the break-even numbers. What kind of sales do you have to do to even break even?
Yeah.
Third is, how many hours per week do you want to work? What is your ideal schedule as an entrepreneur? Box number 4, how do you stand out in the clutter of commerce? What makes your company unique from all the different businesses? In a world of brown cows, herds of brown cows, proverbial brown cows, the analogy of brown cows, how can you be the purple cow that stands out? How can you be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil? Box number 5, branding. How do you improve the perception that people have of you, your business, your brand? Box number 6, marketing, your 3-legged marketing stool. What is a turnkey way for you and your company to generate leads so you can succeed? Because if you don't have any leads, your business will bleed. If you can't sell, your business will go to hell. You've got to generate leads. Sean, how often do business owners by default tell you they have a hard time generating leads?
It's almost all of the time. It's really a huge struggle. And many times they may be creating leads, but just through word of mouth. So they get to a point where we've implemented systems, and then they need to create more leads, but they've never had to do it. So there's a lot of different scenarios where business owners are like, how do you create leads? Something we hammer on at the conference a lot.
Box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Again, box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one-sheets, pre-written emails, lead trackers, all of the sales tools, the sales print pieces, the one-sheets, the big screens that you see inside the business. Whether you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you got to have sales systems in place. We help you with that. Box number 8, what does it cost you to get another customer? Step number 8, what does it cost you to actually acquire a customer? Step number 9, it's hard to build an organization if you're not organized. We're going to teach you how to create repeatable systems, processes, file organization. Box number 10, we're going to teach you how to manage people, real people on the planet Earth. This just in, we're going to teach you how to manage real people on the planet Earth. Box number 11, how to create a sustainable schedule that works for you and your family. Step number 12, how to create human resources systems for recruiting, hiring, training, and retaining great people. Box number 13, accounting. This just in, we have to cover accounting. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. We're going to cover all the accounting things you need to know. And step 14, finally, what is the point of even achieving success? We're going to go over what is the point of even achieving success, how to design a life that you're excited about, how to design a life where you carve out enough time for your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and where you're going to spend your focused time. We're going to go through that, all this and more. Now, the workshop, Sean, it's June 5th and 6th.
Yep.
It's a 2-day interactive workshop.
Yes.
And tickets, we always do it. It's $250 or whatever price that someone can afford. Sean, why do we let people name their price? Why do we have scholarship tickets available if somebody can't afford the $250 general admission ticket?
Well, we don't want anybody to miss out on it. You know, you could be at a startup phase or you could be, you know, way along in your business, but we want to make it accessible for everybody. I think it actually goes back to a story of your dad, and like it goes all the way back to how you've always done this as a business coach, trying to make sure that, you know, your average people out there have access to the things that work.
Now, 7 a.m. to 5. Sean, why do we go from 7 to 5 both days? I mean, it's 10 hours a day. 20 hours of training over 2 days. Why do we do 10 hours a day, Sean, of back-to-back workshops? We do a 30-minute teaching session. We do a 15-minute question and answer session, and then we take a break. 30 minutes of teaching, 15 minutes of question and answer, then we take a break. Why do we do that format, Sean?
That format is so that we can keep people engaged and not just sitting there listening, but also getting involved. We really encourage people to ask questions, and that's really where the juiciness of the conference comes out, is you can put your personal situation and your questions on the board, and Clay will tee off and give you direct advice. Even without being in our coaching program, you can get direct coaching from Clay. It's really a very engaging format. I enjoy it a lot.
Sean, final 60 seconds, pop quiz here. What date is the conference?
June 5th and 6th, 2025, this year.
Question number 2, who's our keynote speaker coming to the conference there, Sean?
Tim Tebow is our keynote speaker.
Sean, question number 3, how much does it cost to come to our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I think it's, did you say it's $250 or whatever you can afford?
That's right, $250
Yes.
or whatever you can afford. Sean, how do you spell Eric Trump backwards?
P-M-U-R-T-C-I-R-E. Ooh, that took a long time.
I'll have to listen to this. And you did it right. All right, again, that's Sean Lohman. I'm Clay Clark, inviting you to come join us at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sean, I really am. I'm excited to have this event. I'm excited to see you at the event, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tim Tebow, baby. It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem.
You could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Hey guys, Luke Erickson here with the Thrivetime Show. As you can see behind me, we've got all kinds of energy going on. People are starting to show up for the conference, and it is hot in this place. We got grill guns over here. We've got people playing the drums. We've got fire breathers, and man, people are so excited as they come in. The conference is kicked off. This house is packed. We've got Eric Hansis with Sean Holmes up there. We've got Steve Currington with Total Lindy Concepts up there talking about what is possible when you just implement, when you do the proven system. It's so exciting. People are going crazy. Guys, Luke Erickson with the Thrivetime Show here with you. It is day 2 and the energy is high. People are so excited to be showing up. The team is ready. Come on, let's see what it's like to go on in for day 2. Follow me. I tell you what, people are so excited to be here for day 2. It is going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see what today has in store. Right now, here at the conference, we've broken into groups going over search engine optimization. And I know for most of us, myself included, if you hear that term, you go, what is that? What does that mean? That's too techie for me. Well, our experts are breaking it down for people so that you can clearly understand how to come up top in Google. It's doable. It's possible. Now we're in the middle of a break, and what we like to do is we like to give you as much tangible and relevant information from about the start of the hour for 45 minutes. Then we take approximately a 15-minute break to allow people to connect with other entrepreneurs around them, bathroom breaks, and also use this time to just really digest all of the good information that you're receiving the whole time. Right behind me, we've got Bob with his grill gun. melting an ice sculpture. It is awesome. The ice sculpture represents our life, right? It's here for a time, but we all need to have the sense of urgency to implement the things that we're learning so that we can make the most of the time that we have.
I heard about it on the podcast. Started listening to the podcast, became a fan, and then figured out about the workshop. I own an insurance and financial services agency, and I was hoping to learn from the workshop systems and processes. I'm big on systems and processes and always learning better ways to run a business more efficiently. The atmosphere's second to none. It's a high energy, really cool atmosphere to be around. Contagious, I would say. Just something every entrepreneur, I think, would appreciate and love. I'd say humorous, high energy, and full of substance, which I think is the key. A lot of business coaches or seminars maybe are high on motivation and making you feel good, but don't have a lot of substance that you can take back and implement, the following Monday, where his does. Man, there's a lot of valuable things. I'm gonna say, this is my second workshop. The first workshop I took back really the importance of a group interview. I used to spend hours and hours interviewing people, screening resumes, and that saving my time on that part is valuable. It was that and then the sales scripting that have been two major things just so far. Man, I think they're missing out on, expert advice from somebody who's been there, done that, built companies, has learned a lot of lessons. That's what I'm always looking for, is somebody that I can learn from that's ahead of where I am. And I think if you choose not to come, you're missing out on a lot of good advice that could help your business.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads, going from 10 a month to 180 a month. That would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it, because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love building relationships. But one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things, the processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due, and Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. Hi, I'm Kelsey with K&D's Woodward Finishing. I'm business owner at 23. So I've been working this K&D's company for about 5 years now, and we started working with Thrive not too long ago. And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. That's what we're going to hit or exceed. So we're pretty excited about that. It's been pretty much just listening to what they have to say. Their hiring process has just really been incredible as far as finding good quality help, and the just the accountability of meeting up with them weekly, and like such good insight, the resources that they have for specific business questions. It's all been really incredible. It's been a great experience, so I would recommend it to anybody.
What I've seen from Clay and his group at Thrive is they'll give you a simple system, and it's the simple systems are the ones that people can wrap their brain around. They're the ones that people can work with on a day-to-day basis.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I am 24 years old and I own Black River Falls Cleaning Services. We opened in April of 2019 and it is now mid-June of 2020. So I wanted to talk today about the success and growth I have achieved by implementing the Proven Path with Clay Clark's team and my business coach Luke from Thrivetime. It has been insane to say the least. I started working with them in mid-February of this year, so we're about 4 months in of working together, and it has completely transformed my business in pretty much every facet. So I'm gonna check my notes here. So in 4 months, my leads have tripled. I was getting probably like 2 leads a week. Now I'm getting more in the like 10 to 15 leads a week. I have doubled my number of employees. I'm now hitting the highest revenue weeks in the history of the company, week to week it seems like. We went from about 6 appointments today as our highest in February to now 14 to 15 appointments a day. And hiring quality employees has become much simpler and less stressful by using their systems for hiring. I typically only get maybe 2 complaints a month, if that, and everybody shows up to work. I just have really high quality employees now, especially in something people typically consider a high turnover type of work, you know, cleaning houses, cleaning businesses. I have amazing employees now, and I get rid of the ones who are not so amazing and bring on new ones because of, you know, group interviews and interviewing every single week. It's just been great, and such I don't waste as much time on low quality candidates anymore. And your coach will hold you accountable. I mean, which I love. Again, the tough love is really great. You know, Luke's like a stern father figure, but he's also nice, but also stern when he needs to be, when I'm being lazy and not doing the things that I know I need to do because I don't want to do them. So that's just great. Worth every penny. I mean, I'd pay him $1 million a month if I can, and maybe someday I'll be able to, but I would just say go for it. If it seems like a good fit, just go for it. Do what they say, even if you think it's stupid or ridiculous, just do what they say because it'll work. You know, people, when they look at my business, you know, people in my town, they think I'm lucky. They think I'm just, you know, things just happen for me. And, you know, maybe I am lucky, but It has a lot to do with hard work and, perseverance and, working till you cry sometimes. That's just being an entrepreneur, which if you're a business owner, you understand that. But it's having these systems in place of, of course I'm going to be successful. It's an absolute, because I have all this stuff in the background happening, and I have Luke and Clay and everybody on their team working really hard to make sure that I'm a success. And I can tell that they are just so excited every single week when I'm having all these wins and things like that. They're so excited for me. So it's the best thing ever, and I would suggest to anybody to work with them. So sorry for the long-winded reply, but I just had so much to say, and I could go on for hours probably about how amazing they are. But thank you to Clay and Luke and the entire team there, everything you guys have done for me, and I am so excited to continue to work with you for years to come. Thanks so much for watching.
My saying is, if it's important to you, hire a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons people are not successful is they eat a cheeseburger instead of hiring a coach, you know what I mean? And so my coach pushes me. They're younger than me. They push harder. They're trained. And as my rich dad always said, amateurs don't have a coach, but professionals always have coaches. So I've always had coaches for whatever was important. And my rich dad was one of those persons. You're on it, man. You're on it. You're on it. Everybody, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. You have the macro picture. Very few people have that point of view.
Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble.
Okay, Aaron Antis, guess who's joining us for the December 4th and 5th, 2025 Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop? Whoa.
Ooh, Santa Claus?
No, we will not be joined by Santa Claus, but we will be joined by Eric Trump, the son of the 45th and now 47th President of these United States. And yes, Amanda Grace will be in the place. And yes, Dr. Stella Manuel will be there, so you know it will go well. Yes, we have Mel K in the house. Pastor Phil and Tammy Hotson-Pillar will be hosting this event at their beautiful church right there in sunny Anaheim, California. Yes, folks, make this a December to remember.
You surprised?
Make this a December to remember and join us at the 2-day interactive business growth workshops. For over 20 years, folks, I've been hosting business growth workshops where we're going to teach you marketing, sales systems, human resources, accounting, social media marketing, branding, sales training, search engine optimization, accounting, workflow development, financial management, all this and more. How do you get tickets? Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, how do you get tickets? Go to thrivetimeshow.com and request tickets today. And now Eric Trump, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States, and this just in from our home office, President Donald J. Trump is now the 47th president of these United States as well.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
He needed someone to run the companies for him. And so the man that runs the Trump organization for Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States and now the 47th president of the United States, is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint. Right. I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last pretty much since 2015. He's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second.
Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
German?
Forget it, he's rolling.
It ain't over now. The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here with...
There's a lot of togetherness and closeness, camaraderie.
So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. And anybody. Don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that attend these conferences. And to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrivetime Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, oh, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge. Learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then, you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard. And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch. And to this is also your opportunity to meet some of the great speakers like Pastor Dave Scarlett. You can meet Mel Kay. You could meet Amanda Grace. You could meet Dr. Stella Emmanuel. You could just grab a coffee. You can find some alone time. You could get lost in the bathroom. You could try to go and get a photo with one of the speakers. You could try to photobomb a photo where someone else is getting a photo with the speakers. You could go attempt to find your phone, wallet, and your keys.
My phone, wallet, keys, yeah, phone, wallet, keys.
Whoa.
Now that's a good idea.
Well, it's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to U.S. Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, that means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. Yeah. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business. But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. And this is no hyperbole, no exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet. Whoa. Add to that, Eric Trump, the man that runs the Trump organization. You say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch.
Who's with me? Let's go! Come on!
It was an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. Someone says, I want more. This is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay, I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event. Again, the event's going to be on December 4th and 5th in sunny Anaheim, California. Great weather. Make this a December to remember. Eric Trump, the man who leads the Trump organization. It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. I think that's going to change your life. I promise you this will be 10 times better than that.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Now, don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. That is, I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. I mean, it is life changing. It is life changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right. Really. So if you're looking to have life changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show workshop in beautiful Anaheim, California.
I'm Kay Dixon. I'm from Sarasota, Florida.
I'm Vince Suzuki, also from Sarasota, Florida.
He dragged me here.
Yep, was here in 2018, and it changed my business, and I built another business, and now I'm here to do it again with this business. So.
Yeah, I'm a brand strategist, and it's been really easy to go to a lot of events like this and just leave really in your head like what to do next. And already there's the strategic, step-by-step, real-life implementation that we can do to our business. And I'm so grateful to be here and very excited that Eric Trump is here, and that is going to be epic.
Hi, my name is Erica, and it has been amazing being here. The conference, I'm learning so much. Everything is perfect for me.
But that Clay Clark, man, he is one character.
It's a good word for him. Character. Yeah, that is it.
Good, driven, smart, and I've never met a guy who was so hyper all the time. He's doing so much good, and then I met his mother, and she just says, she just lets him be Clay Clark. I mean, so he's endorsed by his mother, and he's doing magnificent work. So it was great meeting you out there and all the people that he surrounds himself with. Clay Clark starts his days at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine.
But his, I have problems with my company starting at 9 o'clock. Yes, hundreds of people showing up at 5 a.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, he's a leader of a leader. He's a fantastic young man.
No, he is.
And the greatest thing that'll come out of all of it, aside from winning the presidency of the United States, we'll get to that in a second, was an everlasting friendship between Clay and I, because I'm telling you, there's not too many people in the world that have this man's backbone and his tenaciousness and his perseverance. And so, buddy, I love you. And to General Flynn, thank you. You guys are incredible. You guys are incredible warriors. You guys are incredible, incredible warriors. So thank you, my friend.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
4,000% from February to February. Now I can better that. Okay, Clay, I don't think you know this. I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February in the last 2.5 days. So, and the phone's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up. You're right. It is like a rocket ship. So we're pinching ourselves, actually.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
We're going to move into action mode here. So for anybody out there, if you say, I would like to go to Mar-a-Lago. Now, Jackson, you know that this just in, they raided Mar-a-Lago. You know about this? This just in. And so some people say, that wasn't cool. I didn't like that. But, so a lot of people out there, we want to kind of stick it to the New York Times. We want Eric to become the #1 best-selling author in America. And we kind of also want to go to Mar-a-Lago and check it out. We've never been there before. So what we're going to do is for anybody right now, if you go to Amazon right now and you buy a copy of Eric Trump's book, Under Siege, My Family's Fight to Save Our Nation. So you go to Amazon right now, you buy a copy of the book, and you just text a screenshot of your proof of purchase to my cell phone number, 918-851-0102. So text my number, 918-851-0102. So again, step one, you go here to Amazon.com, you buy a copy of the book, Under Siege, then you just text a screenshot of your purchase, your proof of purchase. You text my number, 918-851-0102. You have a chance to win a dinner at Mar-a-Lago with Eric Trump and myself, and there's more.
Okay, by the way, Mar-a-Lago right there, just for your viewers, it's the most exclusive private club in the world. $2 million to get into, just base membership fee. And I promise we're going to make your night absolutely incredible. Clay goes, listen, why don't we do this? Why don't we put it out to all the amazing Reawaken people, all the people who supported us all around the country, all around, at every one of these conferences, who adore your family. We've got to beat the New York Times. The New York Times is going to do everything they can. Even though we're #1 on Amazon right now, we just hit #1 this morning. New York Times is going to do everything they can to keep you from being #1 bestseller. You know that, I know that, you know the games that they're willing to play. But Clay goes, why don't we do a couple of things? First of all, love having dinner with Clay. He's the greatest. Second of all, why don't we bring one of the amazing people that I guarantee you I've been in front of at all these events. Why don't we bring a couple to dinner at Mar-a-Lago? And I said, absolutely, consider it done. So I said, they have to text you, Clay. They can't text me because we'll be getting 1,000 of these. But yeah, go buy a book, text Clay, and we'll set up a dinner. I'll make sure you guys have the absolute time of your life.
Now, I'm going to pull this up again one more time here, Jackson, because I think sometimes I'm a poor communicator, and I need to work on communicating more effectively. So you go to Amazon. That's step one, okay? Yes. You buy a copy of the book, Pop Quiz. What book?
Under Siege.
You buy a copy of Under Siege, and then you screenshot a picture of that, and you text my phone number. It's 918-851-0102. And folks, that is my cell phone number. So we'll keep that private between you and me and everybody. And then when you text that to me, you have a chance to win a backstage pass to the actual in-person business workshop. That's a business growth workshop, December 4th and 5th, featuring Eric Trump in Anaheim, California. and you have a chance to win dinner with Eric Trump and myself at Mar-a-Lago. Now, someone says, when does this contest end? Now, Eric, your birthday was hijacked. Okay, so your birthday was hijacked. January 6th is this man's birthday. He now has to switch his birthday because no one wants to talk about his birthday on January 6th anymore. So we're going to run this promotion until November 5th. That's my birthday. So we're gonna,
No. So we're going to run it till October 14th.
October
has to
14th.
be pre-sale.
This just in. It has to be between October 14th. That's why we're clarifying. So between now and October 14th. Now, folks, let me just clarify this real quick here. So make sure I'm leaving you with some good clarity here. One, you buy a copy of Under Siege on Amazon. That's the step one.
Yep.
Step two, you text a screenshot of that purchase to my cell phone number, 918-851-0102. Three, you have to do that before October 14th. Before October 14th, this just in. It has to be before October 14th. And you have a chance to win a backstage pass to the upcoming business workshop. You have a chance to have dinner with Eric Trump at Mar-a-Lago. And I want to tell you some benefits of buying the book. One, I've read the book. It's incredible. If you're a father out there and you want to learn about mentoring your kids, it's a great book. If you want to learn about American history, it's a great book. If you want to make America great again, it is a great book. It's a book you got to have.
Now here is just a quick editor's note. You do not have to buy a copy of Eric Trump's book Under Siege to be entered into the drawing. Whoa. Just text the number. All you have to do is just text the number 918-851-0102 and you will be entered into the drawing for a chance to win a copy of Eric Trump's book Under Siege and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to hang out with Eric Trump and Clay Clark at Mar-a-Lago and to win a backstage pass at the upcoming ThriveTimeShow.com 2-day interactive business workshop. Again, you do not have to buy a copy of the book to be entered into the drawing, but it would be great if you'd buy a copy of the book because that would make sense. However, that is all, and now back to the interview.
Also, Eric, a final question here for you. You are donating a portion of the proceeds to support Charlie Kirk in his continued mission there. Could you tell us about that briefly there, and then we'll let you get back to what you're doing today, sir?
Yeah, well, I was on with Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson was a great friend of Charlie Kirk's, as you know, and you know Benny, and Benny's a very good friend of mine, and, you know, Kash Patel is a very good friend of mine and was a very good friend of Charlie's. I mean, you watch everybody that's up on that stage every single day as they got to the bottom of exactly what happened, and they brought justice to what happened, or are trying to bring justice to what happened, and it's kind of unthinkable. But you know St. Jude, and I talk a lot about St. Jude in this book because that's been, you know, fighting pediatric cancer has always been a cornerstone of my life. But Charlie truly was the epitome of being under siege, not only in the movement that he helped create, but obviously in how his life was savagely taken. My book came out 2.5 days before Charlie's assassination. You better believe he would have been the final chapter of this book as just another illustration of what these people will do at any cost to try and win, because it's who they are. It's the not so tolerant left. And we can never let, you know, our voices be extinguished, Clay. You stood on that stage as well as anybody I've ever seen stand on a stage. You did at Reawaken events all across the country, which you funded out of your back pocket because you believed in America. You believed in a greater country. And you were on that stage every single day. You know, I was on that stage with you every single day. And I was on the Turning Point stage with Charlie all the time. And I was on stages across, you know, the country and 3 campaigns. I've stood on thousands of them. And honestly, they don't want us to stand on that stage. That's why they're sending bullets from rooftops. They don't want us to go out there with a bullhorn and have loud, independent thought. When they see these beautiful arenas full of kids and they're cheering, they're celebrating, they're holding American flags, they don't want that. And so they want to silence us. They want to silence our voice. That's why they killed Charlie. That's why they tried to kill my father. That's why they sent 112 subpoenas to me. That's why they wanted me in jail and my father in jail and Don in jail. That's why they made up the hoaxes. They wanted to see us destroyed and gone with no voice, with no money, with no company, with no political aspirations, gone. And we can't allow that to happen. And so we need to make sure that Turning Point continues. We need to make sure incredible patriots like you continue to spread, you know, sensible, you know, speech, pro-American values, you know, pro-religious, pro-constitutional values. And that's why I want to donate the funds to Turning Point. I want to donate, you know, a portion of the funds to Turning Point, because we can't allow anarchy to win, and we can't allow voices to be deleted, and we need to keep Charlie's legacy going.
Eric Trump, thank you so much for joining us. Pastor Jackson, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Eric, have a great day. We really do appreciate you. Everybody go out there and buy that book, Under Siege. It's not too early to buy your Christmas gifts. And if you have a Democrat in your family, buy them a copy as well. Eric Trump, take care.
Thanks, guys. See you later.